What is up, people? Let me know if you guys can hear me good, because for some odd reason I am not hearing any of my audio on my side, which is odd. Um, yeah, I wanted to get into technology and some more things bigger than the fucking shape, things that are going on now. Um, I've had a lot of conversations with people, and one of the odd things about the conversations that I've had is realizing that there's a lot of people who just really can't grasp the fact that the military, the private sector, that they're far more advanced in the technology than we're privy to. For instance, I'll give you guys an example of what really opened my eyes to this. A few years back, when the laser weapons started coming out, and the news and rumors and documents and yada 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 came out, what ended up happening was a lot of people started denying that it was what it was. I told a group of people over at a server, specifically a ex-military person, and when I explained to them that they were using laser technology as weapons now, they didn't believe me. Like, it was like reaching for straws to them to believe at any point that the military was using weapons for this. One of the other factors to it that really confused me was, why do people believe that we are just as advanced? That to me seems odd. That to me seems very odd. Like, they're definitely not going to put everything out in the basket. I get that. I get that. It's kind of far fetched for me to even or even to think, why don't they? But it's here nor there. I'm gonna go ahead and put a link in the chat. So this is an upload that I did a while ago about Raytheon actually mounting the first helicopter laser system, and again, weapons. A lot of you guys have already seen 1,001 images, or let me see. Let me get this up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Like, for instance, this. We've seen this image. This is one of the this is a screenshot of a video they put out where they were doing the testing in the the results. They were putting them on videos for everyone to see. So definitely wanted to get into that. I definitely wanted to get into, there's DARPA, there's Skunk Works, and there's 1,000 other these companies out there that are military or government contracted to build advanced technology beyond what we have now. So we're gonna get into that. It's gonna be fun. What's up, Fletcher? What's up, Loken16? What's up, Fletcher? I already said Fletcher. Damn. What's up, Grizz? What up, the Mind of God? What up, B-Ball? What up, Manny? What's up, Big Dreads? How you doing, sir? I'm going to go ahead and open up the panel right now. That's the other thing. If you guys have an issue getting on the panel, let me know. Because, again, Hangouts has changed things up again. And the link that I have is obviously not a good link. The link at the top of that window is not a good link. So remember that if you guys are going to start using the quick, the safe version of Hangouts with OBS, just know that the new style that they're using, that link at the top, instead of where we used to just copy and paste that, you have to go to the little invite people thing right here, and get it from that box right there. Just so you guys know. With that said, I kind of wanted to get into what we know they have, what we think they have, and obviously, where is that line where we're saying that they have this, and this, and it's too far? Because, 10 years ago, this conversation we're having now, and we start talking about cloaking, and we start talking about, advances in stealth, then it's a whole different ball game, right? One of the things that really got me thinking about this topic was yesterday I was talking to Mind of God, and he was talking a lot about the different aspects of where people believe we are in with the government and militaries and whatnot, and it's very clear to me that there's a lot of people that don't know about the technology that's out there right now. It's very clear to me. Anybody can come on and question a type of weapon that you've heard of. I haven't heard all of them. But one thing that I definitely know is that if you're somebody who doesn't believe any kind of military technology is 15 to 20 years ahead of us, then I'm sorry, but you're really, really reaching for what you're talking about, stars. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get right now. I'm just pulling up a couple of websites that I wanted to make sure I got, so we could talk about it. And it's pretty much the gist of what I wanted to do today. Obviously it can go anyway. My panel's always open, so if you want to start talking about something different, that's fine with me. But this is where we're starting. So Fletcher says, I am in the military. I'm in the military. It is trivial. Of course they can. What do you mean, of course they can? And okay, so you're saying, okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying it's trivial, but it's not as trivial as I believe it is. I believe it's far more trivial than or far more advanced, far more what the hell word I'm looking for? Far more it's far more advanced, basically. Hey, what's up, Adam? How you doing, sir? Yeah. Oh, I think 15 to 20 years is being nice about it, tell you the truth. I mean, put it this way, when we're talking advanced technology, right? If we're saying let's start in the 40s, the 50s even, it would have been so far-fetched to believe cloud seeding. It would have been far-fetched to believe earthquake weaponry. But these are all things that were put out on the table in the 30s, 40s to be worked on, right? Okay, so if that's the case, now think about the time frame between right now and say space technology. And I know some of you guys are already rolling your eyes because I said that. But realize this: we went from horseback and carriage, no electricity, to manned spaceflight, or how about this, guys? Flying, period. In 30 years, 40 years, compared, the big jump. They were horses and carriages 30 to 40 years prior to the first, manned flight. So if the millions of years that we've evolved, or you want to say the 150 years, 200 years that we've been, the industry has advanced, look where we've gone from there. Look at the strides we've made in just that time. Now, it's not going to be, and the people have said this, and I've had this conversation where you go, what is, if we're at this point now, can you imagine where we're going to be in 50 years, 100 years? And then someone goes, yeah, okay. But realize this. It's not like the past 100 years we went from point A to point C, right? And then, the next 100 years from now, it'll be from C to E. No, 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 no. It jumps. It bounds and leaps. People, yeah, the Navy has some crazy shit. I drive through Pearl Harbor like every day. The invention of the semiconductor changed a lot. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, hey, mind God, I actually got a couple things I wanted to show you. Actually, I don't know why, but that may be the link that I even am going to use to show you guys flying cars. Let me see real quick. No. Oh, no, it's not the same one. And because of that, because of the advance that we've had in such a short time that we have, imagining where we're going to be in another 100 years it's too insane. So damn insane. B-Ball, you're talking about how you're around, you drive through Pearl Harbor every day. Now, imagine this. So, and Fletcher, you may be able to want to, actually, Fletcher, you should jump on, man, because if you're in the military, you're the type of guys I like talking to about this, because it really does open your eyes to the realization that there are levels of military. There are levels. This is obvious. This is classification for stuff. It just let everyone remind you, if the link isn't working, you guys got to let me know, because I don't know which. I got to figure out the new Hangout setup. But like I was saying, when I was young, I'm talking 8, so almost 30 years ago, my uncle used to work at a naval base down here in San Diego, 32nd Street. He was telling, and this is when I was young. This isn't like around now he's telling me this stuff. He was telling me this, like I said, 25, 30 years ago, that he'd be walking along the docks at night, and he started noticing submarines, boats, and all of them, he said, were stealth. They were stealth. They looked like a stealth boat, stealth submarine, like all these things that were definitely not going on, that we definitely didn't know about. And with that, it's very clear that I don't think anybody can really argue with the fact that there is definitely technology that we are not privy to. Period. How advanced that technology is, that's the big question. Because the military has come out with laser weaponry, whereas before it was laser defense technology, which is far different from it becoming a weapon. It went from detecting to destroying. Then you think even better than that, they have missiles for helicopters and jets that basically control themselves. They got a missile that actually, it literally you program where the target is. So you're not even having to aim it, but up to, in the sky to actually fire this device. The railgun. Yeah, the railguns. Oh man, they're talking about a projectile for the railgun that basically will do it all. Rumor had it that it will be able to control its speed due to atmosphere. It'll be able to change direct trajectory. And we all know how advanced the railgun is. The railgun is insane, but it's old now. Think about that. It's freaking old compared to the other stuff. Let's see if I can get some other pictures up here, because I wanted to. Damn, where is it? There you go. I wanted to show you guys like these little things that, I mean, a lot of us have already seen these things on YouTube, or talked to someone about it. But for instance, what we're looking at right now. Oh shit! Damn, I forgot to put that on already. What we were looking at now that I wanted to talk about is drones. So I mean, obviously drones are a thing. I mean, ask mine to God, he knows. B-Ball says, I have no idea. Trust me, I actually do. I have a very good idea. Obviously, I'm only able to get certain amounts of information, but there's a lot of information that is out there that if you dig deep enough, then it's definitely there. Give me 1 second so I can get this, so I can actually use that that slide. Let me see. This will only take a second. All right, now we should be able to do it perfectly. Okay, so like I was saying, the technology that we know about compared to the technology that's there, or that we don't know about, is obviously, I think, a very far gap. Very huge. But let me see. Like I said, Hangout's open, man. You guys got, see a few of you guys out there that do come on the panel and like to have a conversation about it. Now, for instance, what we're looking at now, that is it's a drone. Get that up. Okay. So basically, one of the biggest things that is just, it's crazy to me, is the fact that, the idea that this technology is limited almost. Now, I've talked to a guy in the military who told me lasers weren't real. Now, the next one, situation that I went through, was in this one really effed with my brain. So, a while back, I haven't seen him in a while. Some of you guys know him, Gold Steel. Gold Steel works for CERN. When I was talking to him, I was explaining to him weather modification. Regular old weather modification. So, someone who does things like at CERN with clearance, classified clearance, that can't talk about stuff, he didn't believe that we were capable of cloud seeding, hail suppression, and then into the geoengineering aspect of it, which boggled my mind. Let me see here. Yeah, so like I was saying, we all know about the F-35, right? And if you don't, and you're living under a rock, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. But this is like probably, in my opinion, the most advanced. Well, obviously, it's probably their newest one, but it's the most advanced in the sense of it literally defies physics. It defies things that you don't think it would do or be capable of. When I saw this thing, man. If you haven't seen this yet, you guys should really check this jet out. It's probably one of the small few that I've ever even seen in my life that almost acted unlike any other technology, like craft that I've seen, especially with military. So, to me, when we're talking advance in technology, man, you're on a different. It's like a whole different thing. It's a whole different aspect of the conversation when you really think about it. me see. Where the hell is it? Why isn't it picking the right window? That's weird. All right, there we go. So again, like I said, F-35. I don't know, we're either over here. If I can have that window still. All right, now I can see you guys. So here's the thing. The F-35, if you haven't seen it, this thing is able to. It's basically a hover. It hovers, land, take off. I've seen this is able to. Anyone knows what a flat spin is, right? It's basically bad news for any craft in the air. And this one does it. I'm trying to find. I'm gonna go ahead and find a couple of these videos so you guys can check it out. It's actually freaking crazy. Yeah, let's give one a good demo. Let's see what's in the chat. I've seen that. I don't know about. I will. All right, you guys are just chatting it up. All right, so like I said, this is the F-35 aerial demonstration debut 2017 in Paris at an air show. Check this out. While we're watching this, I'll be looking at you guys in the chat. Yeah, this thing's turn radius is insane. Everything about this thing is just crazy. While we're watching this, I'm gonna go ahead and try to find another one, like when I was watching the other day, and it's very impressive. And again, this isn't the technology I'm talking about. You'll see with what they're coming up with. Yeah, this is probably one of the things it does that no other jet can do. Just it's the amount of turn radius that it has is insane. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this other video because this is another one with a vertical takeoff. And again, this isn't the whole thing I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to give you guys a good idea of where we're at with this one. Let me see here. I believe so. I don't really know too much about it, Grizz, but I do know that what I've seen this thing do is insane. And while we're watching this, I'm going to go ahead and find something that I wanted to show you guys. And there you have it. I mean, again, if you guys know about jets and whatnot, you know what this one does is it's insane. Now, with that being said, the next part of this conversation goes to what it's capable of and what's next for it. Well, what about if these F-35s were being escorted by drones? Because that's the next step for them. Let me see. Go ahead and get that playing because I have another clip of that. Get that over here. And again, I'll get back into the chat a second to give me a chance to do this part. Where is it?
Cool as shit, so I got no worries with you.
That's the wrong
But
one.
sometimes
And again, I'm trying to figure out all my little
cool as
buttons.
shit, so
I know I have. Which were you? All right, fuck it. We're just gonna play it this way. There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. I was sitting there trying to play another video. My bad. Like I was saying, I know. Hey, P Mars, you're a fucking joke. How you doing, buddy? Anyway, um, like I was saying before, I was really interrupted by retard. Yeah, sorry about the mute thing. You guys know me. I roll like that. Like I was saying, so the technology that they have with the F-35 and the escort drones for fueling, for for offense and defense in a dogfight situation. Those are things that we have that we're seeing now, things that are happening now. When we're talking advanced technology, and someone said it in the chat, I'm pretty sure it was when I was muted, so you probably didn't hear me. Yes, okay, so Adam, you wrote in here, you said, I don't think the government research can outpace the private sector either, unless we're going to say that the private sector research results in a government contract 100% of the time. And yes, Adam, that is exactly what its situation is. The biggest situation that I have issues with in that situation is that there are companies that do get the contracts all the time. We're talking Raytheon, we're talking Marquis Lawton, we're talking, geez, oh, so many names. Lockheed Martin, BAS, so it's BAS, DARPA, Skunk Works. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And the reason for that is there's a small group of companies that the military contracts, and then they contract out to other companies. So that's why you're not hearing all these different companies that do military work like that. Plus, for instance, like we'll say Raytheon or Lockheed Martin, those companies they have the clearance to get these contracts, and the military doesn't want to have 100 100. They don't want 100 contractors. They want 10, and then they want those 10 to have the headaches that they're going to deal with, during the projects. For instance, Skunkworks always does their top secret aviation and stuff. They all do classified work for military. They all are capable of advanced technology. You said in your comment that unless the private sector research gets contracted 100% of the time, that's what they do. DARPA, DARPA is not it's not a military agency. DARPA is DARPA, and they do contracts for the military. The company that can be created something, the cheapest is the company that will get the contract. Exactly. But the problem is that they still have, especially, I mean, you may know, I'm pretty sure you said you were in the military. You don't just live near B-ball. It's not just the price, because, for instance, I've done a lot of bidding on military projects, for civil contracting. The price is very important, but there's something that's much, 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 much more important. Two things: the clearance that company has, which is usually made up of reputation, quality, and timeliness, right? Well, with that being said, I can have a bid that's higher than somebody else, but if they haven't done any other past work in the military, then they won't get the project. I'll have a better chance. It doesn't, especially with the military, it doesn't quite work that way when it comes to being awarded contracts. Because again, the top secret stuff the military has, they're trusting Raytheon, they're trusting Lockheed Martin. It's not, you know what I mean? And again, our government, our military, they don't have an agency that actually does the advanced technology stuff at all. So, and when your comment, Adam, this is exactly what the situation is yeah, they don't have their own agency that does it. So yeah, 100% of the contracts are awarded out to usually the private sector when it comes to that type of technology. Nah, Fletcher, I'm telling you, man, it's not cheap. It's not about the cheapest because remember, quality, right? Like you said, without losing quality, reputation, their past work, their past things they did. That matters more than anything, more than that price. I'm telling you, I've had when there's a couple contracts that I was doing that were worth in the $5 million range. That would be paid out over long periods of time, and there were companies that were bidding in the 2.5, and I won that bid based on the reputation that me and my father had made on base, and the fact that we had the time on base. That matters more than the price, big time. What's up, Sean? How you doing, sir? Can you hear me? Hello, hello. All right, he's gonna try to figure that out. I see ya. Hello. I don't even look like you, man. I don't want to chance it. Sean, can you hear me? All right. I don't know if I froze or if it's me. You guys can hear me, right? I don't even look like. Hey, Sean, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Man, you look different for some reason. I was like, what the hell is on my panel right now?
Yeah, it's just me. I cut all my hair off.
I was confused. I was like, man,
I'm
your head had a new shine to it.
yeah. I'm on my phone. I finally figured out how to do this on the phone.
Oh, okay, okay. So this
Do
one,
you know how to do that on your phone?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
It's
pretty.
it. It's just that you can't at that point you can't watch the watch page. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I tried opening it up in the app, and all that does is open the app. Doesn't open the Hangout, but you have to click up on the three things and click use desktop site,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
and then
yeah.
it. Yeah. So awesome.
Yeah. So Fletcher was saying in the chat, it depends on what product you're talking about. 100%. When it comes to, we're gonna say, um, we'll say, defense. The military, the defense, military, DoD.
Nigger.
You having fun there, buddy? You having fun? All right. You having fun though? Is that fun to you? Is that fun, P Mars? Okay. Just so you know, no one could hear you at all because I muted the panel. Thank you though. Have a nice day. Anyway, God, that
I
guy's a
didn't mean to
fucking
snipe
loser.
him.
No, no. Fuck him.
Yeah.
No, that's one person that just doesn't get the opportunity to be a part of this. He likes to
Cool.
stop everything. I don't even. That's the funny part. He thinks he's making himself known. As far as I'm concerned, he's just making himself more known to be stupid. But hey,
Yeah.
to each their own. Some people are like that.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. So, like I was saying, mostly I'm kind of trying to read in the chat. So, I mean, what do you think about the technology where we're at and where where they say we're at? How far advanced do you think it is?
Technology with what? I'm
Um,
sorry.
Specifically, military
Oh,
technology. How
we need to be a lot
advanced?
more advanced.
Say again.
We need to be a lot more advanced.
Well, so for
I'm I'm,
instance,
I'm a
I
veteran, so
okay, even better. For instance, I believe that that the military is most likely 10 to 15 years advanced in technology than we are now.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff going on with DARPA and DoD and all that we have no idea about.
Mm-hmm.
When I was stationed at Fort Rucker, this was back in '84. They the Army was working on a thing called PaveTac, where they could take a laser and individually incinerate bullets coming out of ship or an aircraft.
Yeah.
In midair, in flight. And this was back in '84 that they were working on this shit. So yeah, there's a lot of advanced stuff.
And what's weird to me is, and I'm very happy to hear you say that, because one of the scariest things to me is when I listen to veterans talking about it as if they don't exist at all. Like, the advancement of it.
Yeah.
It's weird to me, and the reason that this is like a big deal is because, for one, they got to test this stuff somewhere. Not very many people know.
Yeah, they have proving grounds. And
say again?
they have their special little proving grounds, Skunk Works and Raytheon.
Yep. Yeah, actually, I've actually wandered upon a off limits top secret area out in Johnson Valley here in California. I used to off road out there a lot, and the Chocolate Mountains is where they do all their fun stuff. I actually ended up wandering into a valley and then being escorted out by two Apache helicopters. It was quite interesting. Did you?
Right on.
And if anyone didn't know, Apache helicopters have loudspeakers on them because they will talk to you. Yeah, they will let you know. Get the F out of here.
Matter of fact, when I was stationed in Fort Rucker, they were just bringing out the Apache. That was one of the first years they had it, and got to see it firsthand. And yeah, it's a hell of a bird.
Yeah, and like in that situation, like you would think. So, like for instance, like, and this is where my brainstorming of this happens. To think, okay, so when you first saw the Apache, it was obviously probably, the best helicopter the military had. Well, they had to have been, well, for one, building, but even bigger, testing it. So those things have been around a long time.
There was a lot of stuff that's on the, like, in the works, I think, with a lot of companies, and I don't think they build and test more than one at a time. Usually, it's a pretty costly endeavor to put an aircraft all the way from the drawing board to R&D.
Oh yeah.
And I think they wait. They have their engineers and their designers working on new stuff, and they have prototypes being built. But it's I think they focus on one thing at a time. It's just too costly to do two at once.
I could see maybe, like for instance, like the Apache, them have had maybe 2 or 3 base models, I guess you would maybe say, but I definitely think they are working on helicopter here, some type of tank technology there. It's not just one. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to. I wasn't sure what you were meaning.
It's not just one company doing it either. Raytheon does their thing, and Boeing does theirs, and
Well, I didn't even realize it at first until actually just this second, because I'm looking at it right now. But I didn't realize that Lockheed Martin actually is the one who owns Skunk Works.
Yeah. They're the ones who designed the SR-71.
Yes. Because that's one of the things I wanted to show everyone. Just some of the things that are used, or that we have based on.
Yeah. And I'm convinced that we do not have a better spy plane than the SR-71.
Did you hear they have another one now?
Oh, do they? Is it just a modification or?
Yeah, I think it's called the SR-72. Let me see.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't think you could. I don't think you could make that design better. I think that's about as best as you can get.
Yeah, this is the concept right here. I I
Oh wow.
I don't know if they have it yet. I don't know, but I've heard many of
No,
talks about it.
it's not as sexy.
No, no, definitely not. And that's the odd part because it's definitely more streamlined, more slick, but it's definitely
I
yeah,
think
just like you said.
I think the new one's designed more for like low orbit altitude or low altitude orbit.
Mhm.
Probably more for space, low altitude space, maybe.
Yeah. Let's see. So it was the fastest plane to ever exist, but the Lockheed Martin, or built by Lockheed Martin in 1960, it would reach speeds exceeding Mach 3. Damn, that is a beautiful fucking jet.
Yeah, it is. And you had to be astronaut trained to fly it.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Well, you're in you can go in basically into space with it. It's
Oh,
something. They said that the jets don't necessarily push it through through the air. It kind of sucks it as well. It like sucks it through the air. They're
yeah,
that
yeah,
strong.
yeah. Like the way, yeah, it lurches it forward
The
as
in,
it thrusts it. It's crazy. Yeah.
yeah, the intake is strong enough to pull it through the air.
Oh wow.
Same
So
way as the same way as the A-10 uh, Thunderbolt, the Mohawk,
yeah.
that plane, the tank killer.
Yep.
The guns are programmed to only fire in bursts because if they open up a full like drum of rounds, it will stop it in midair.
Oh shit. Damn.
Yeah, the guns are that strong,
So on
and
in
it's
the
not a real powerful aircraft either. It's two big turbofans, and it's meant to go slow and low,
uh yeah. So
so
the
it's not
SR
meant for speed.
yeah. So it says the SR-72. It looks like it's capable of more because it's it can reach anywhere in an hour, which means it does have to get mass altitude. Um,
Yeah.
it was saying a second ago. What did it say? I was saying something that was relevant. Oh yeah. So it's also saying that this is supposed to be considered a fighter jet as well.
Huh.
Yeah. So where is it?
Wow.
Yeah, right here. Yes, they also want the jet to be more than just a recon to do recon missions. They want the SR-72 to be able to strike targets.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's
They'll
crazy.
probably do it. They'll probably just do it with a kinetic rounds,
Yeah,
just a heavy, dense spike, and basically when it hits the target, it hits it with so much impact it just explodes.
yeah. So they're also saying that possibly could be unmanned. I don't know what that was just saying. Yeah, see,
Wow.
so if Lockheed says their confirmed plans to fly a research vehicle in early 2020, which means basically the test ones. I believe they already have it. I mean, just a second ago, it
Yeah, it
said
makes sense.
they were saying, where is it? Right here. It says rumor of possible sightings have been flooding the internet. There's something. We're seeing something, and the only way we'll know what it is basically going down the list of test or crafts that they have, and if in 2013 they were talking about this, and this video on YouTube came out in 2017. We're in 2019. I guarantee that thing's flying already. Guarantee it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, probably. Yeah,
Uh
4 years.
huh.
Yeah, or 3 years.
Yeah, and like I said, Skunkworks. You know about Skunkworks. I didn't know they were part of Lockheed Martin. Yeah, I mean we know for a fact Skunkworks is like the military's go-to aircraft advanced technology company,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. They're the what do you call it? The Tony Starks of the
Yeah,
aviation world.
yeah, exactly. So, and what I was reading on earlier, and I'm seeing now that would make sense to talk about. The SRs, what they're saying, are possible sightings, like the one we're looking at now. That looks exactly like the TR-34. Have you seen that?
No.
me show you that one. Okay, so this is literally supposed to be a so it's not real officially, but there are these rumors to have had it. Now, there are videos on YouTube, right? I will not play them. Here's why. About 6 months ago, I did a live stream basically about the same topic, and I aired a 10-second video with the TR-34 in it. That video was taken down within minutes of finishing that live stream. Minutes, and
Damn.
it was taken down worldwide, it said. So
Ah.
I don't want to play a video of it, but anyone who hasn't heard about the TR-34, it's crazy. It literally is supposed to be like an anti-gravity aircraft, if that makes any sense. So like I said, it's if you look at the image we're looking at now, and then you look at where were we? That image right there. I don't think they can see it very well on the page. Let me go ahead and make this bigger for you guys so you guys can see what we're looking
Pretty
at.
much triangular.
Yeah, and the thing is the image that we're looking at in that right there. That doesn't even look like the SR-72 that we were looking at before. Granted, that was computer generated and supposedly before it was out. So maybe, it's a little different. Maybe it's the distance. I don't know. But I can tell you right now that what we're looking at right now looks triangle.
Yep.
Compared to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's
Yeah, that's
triangle,
more,
but that's,
shape.
yeah, it's, and usually when they give us the concept version of it, it kind of supposed to be in that range of, you know what I mean? Like, so we know the SR-72 is going to kind of look like that. Maybe a little different, but it's going to look different. Something in that range. So when I see a shape like that, I'm not seeing what we were looking at just now at all.
Mm.
Get back to the chat. I keep
How
forgetting about that.
They clocked it how fast it's going?
I don't. Let's see if that says down here. I didn't see where it would say. I can Wikipedia it though. Okay, Lockheed claims it will reach speeds topping Mach 6, over 4,500 miles an hour. Holy fuck!
Maybe.
Wow. I'm gonna go to the.
Hope they include a box of Pampers.
For real. All right. So this is the Wikipedia page. I want to just read up on it. I didn't even see this. But before I do that, let me get my chat back up because I took down I can't find my chat. So I know everyone's like, oh man, he's not even paying attention. All right. So here we go. Sorry guys. I see you now. I'm in the chat. What's up, Jimmy? What's up, Rob? Did I miss anybody else? I think that's it. Okay. Mock up 1950s. Okay, so it was airborne in 69. Hang on, because they're saying something in the chat about certain crafts that I actually want to look into. Like Rob was saying that. He said the Stealth B2 was airborne in 69. I don't know about that one, but seems a little. Hang on one sec, guys. That seems a little too soon for the B-52, but I'll look into it. We'll look into it.
I don't really keep up on aircraft that much. I just know kind of generally how the military and government works.
Okay, he said the B2, not the B-52. Okay.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah, it makes a lot. All right, my bad, Rob. Okay. Damn, that was weird. I was like, damn, I don't think that's true. And I started writing it down. I'm like, oh, that didn't say 52. So B or the SR-72. Yeah, that's insane. 4,500 miles an hour. See, I wish I would have known that before I looked that up, because those are the type of things you kind of get an idea of if people understand what we're looking at. Because, like, you can go, hey, did you guys hear about the new SR-72? It's going to go 4,500 miles an hour. And people will just say, that's not true. That's not right. Right off the bat, just because of. I was watching a Skunkworks documentary type thing, and the guy that was talking was a the art the blah blah the architect, or the guy that draws up the blueprints for these things, and
Okay.
he was talking about the crafts he was talking about. I mean, make this SR-72 look retarded. He was talking about craft that can do 7,000 plus. They were talking about the strive to break physics to make these things.
Wow.
And that was one of the
Yeah,
things
they've got
that.
a
Good.
they got a thing called an aerospike engine, which
Aerospike.
yeah, look that up. It's pretty cool.
Aerospike.
Yeah, they can get some pretty good velocities out of those. Then you got the scramjet, but a lot of that stuff, a lot of like the more advanced jets that have to be like really high up, I think it's like the physics are unbalanced.
Yeah, you see, and that was the thing when I talked to the guy Goldsteel from CERN, and we were, and the reason I even talked to him, because if you're working for CERN, you're going to be dealing with some pretty high tech shit. When
Mm.
I talked to him, he made it clear. He was like, "You have to remember that no matter how secret, how advanced, it can't break our physics that we know." And I went, "But what if? But what if they figured out how to break through, or figured out a new something? I don't even know the words for it, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just they're advanced because of the fact that they surpass what we know to be right, logically possible.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
crazy part about it.
They truly think outside the box.
Yep. Let me see.
We think when we think outside the box, we're still inside their box.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like the main thing I wanted to get across to a lot of people, because a lot of people just don't believe we're that advanced, and it's crazy to me to assume for anybody to not real to think that. I mean, like we literally, like, for instance, well, for one, I get the fact that there are secret things going on because we don't want everyone else to know about these things. But if that's the case, imagine how out of the loop we are. That's the crazy part to me. It's just, it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Let me see.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the Men in Black. People don't want to know this.
Yeah.
If they knew half of what was going on, they couldn't deal with it.
Oh yeah. A lot of people, like when Trump came out and was like, we're gonna have a space military." A lot of people got onto that thing. Was like, "Oh God, they're aliens. What are we gonna do?" We've had a space military agency for a very long time. I'm not
Yeah,
sure how
I
many
mean,
people know about that.
NASA hasn't been militarized for a while, but they started as a military, as a government agency. I
Oh,
mean,
they still are.
yeah,
Okay, no, no, no. So they're not a government agency, but in my opinion, they have very, very strong ties with DoD.
oh yeah,
I found a report. It's called a special. You guys can Google it if I don't find it right now. It's called the Special Report, or the Special Relationship between NASA and DoD. Basically, it's a bunch of declassified documents, and during the Columbia era, there's a lot of documents that say where the DoD's telling NASA, "We're not going to fund the building of the shuttle unless you do what we need." So basically, the Columbia shuttles were all built with the guides that no matter what, no matter when, the military would have a way to get whatever they needed to into space. So,
yeah, that makes
so
sense.
yeah, so the all the compartments, like they basically wanted to make sure that NASA couldn't go, "But we already have this planned." So
Yeah,
anytime the DoD needs it, they have preview to NASA. Now, again, that doesn't make them government or military, but if you get a chance to read it, I'm still going to try to find it. I'll try to find it throughout here. But literally, like, you would have to. How was the best way to explain it? You would have to basically. See, a lot of people want them to be like, we are part of the military to believe it, but you guys got to. If you don't believe it, you guys got to read this relationship with them. It's mind numbing. It makes you realize how intact they are. I can't find it right off the hand, but if anyone, I'll find it. Don't worry.
But I think
Go ahead.
I think that the important thing to remember, though, is that no matter what they have going on in the background, and no matter how buddy NASA is with the government, and and all that, the government is not out to intentionally hurt us.
No, they need us.
They're out for our well-being. It's just crazy to think otherwise. That the government wants to kill everybody.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They need us. If people don't realize that,
Yeah. The government isn't the government. It isn't a thing. It's people. It's made up of people, and people have feelings, and if a group of people feel that they're being led astray and are being forced to do bad things to their constituents, they're gonna fucking say something.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the biggest thing when we start talking like martial law. Now, if we went into a martial law situation, everyone needs to understand something. The military ain't going to do nothing. The military is going to be our police, understandably. They're not going to knock at our doors and start taking our guns and round everyone up and put them in camps. Here's why. That officer that's commanding a area, he has a family that he's thinking about at that moment. The military is not going to injure, kill, or do anything like that to their family members. I'm not even saying personally, but each and every one of those, the military people, they have families. So that's why they're not going to go to that extent that people think they will. Issue is private militaries, though. That's the big issue. Like black.
What are they called? The thing that Eric Prince runs or whatever, Blackwater.
Yeah.
Blackwater. Scary as fuck.
Yeah, they're no longer Blackwater anymore. There's something else, and I forget the name of it. Okay. But I'm not sure if you guys remember when I was talking about the strata balloons, the for SpaceX and all that, or SpaceX geoengineering. That was one of the biggest red flags to me, because it's a civilian company, right? But when I was looking through here, and where is it? Let me see. There it is. When I was looking through here, and I scrolled down, right, and I got to this, I was like, what the fuck? What the hell is going on? Because Blackwater, they are also funding. They also have invested in Scope X. They're part of that whole investor crew that is into that. These are the guys that you got to worry about if we went into a martial law, because they are the same guys that went into Iraq, and all the what do you call the crimes again? The crimes that happened during war.
War crimes.
Yeah, duh. All the war crimes that we were hearing about, and the U.S. was having to speak about. All those things were done by these guys, not our military. We were hearing about people like convoys running people over, people just shooting willy nilly. Those are the guys that were doing that. Blackwater. Those were the guys that were doing all that shit. They're the ones that are actually. I think there's still more. I know for a long time there was more private military out there than we had government militaries, and that's Europe's. Between all the countries that were involved, there were more private military bodies in Iraq than government. Let me see here. And that's the scary part because we don't know about a lot of them. But if you do this, very easy. Watch this. Private militaries. There are insane amounts. Where is it? Oops. Misspell. There we go. So, we go look into private military companies. You ready for this list? Here you go. Watch it. Hang on. Where is it? This may not be the site I was on the other day. But, let me see. Nope, it's not. Oh, there it is. So, these are all the lists of private militaries around the world. I'm going to also say there's a lot left out of here because just the fact that I don't think every country has only one. Like Australia has two, Sharpen Industrials, Unity Resource Group.
About that.
Gibbler companies. Yes, I mean there's Russian, South African, UK. Well, shit, UK has that. Look at the United States. Those are all private companies in the United States right there.
Wow.
And the ones that we know of, see, that's the crazy part. Hang on. See, because I don't want private. Okay, so they're clumping it in this site that I'm on. They're clumping them together, which is I didn't want. For instance, because like AirScan, they're U.S. Department of Defense, U.S. States Air Force, and a number of other private companies. Like I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for more, obviously the military. Like for instance, cluster battles. They're military based. All right, it says Iraq and oil sector at present have ceased operations in Iraq. I don't believe that. I think once they get off a mission, they go into hiding, so to speak.
They leave people there.
Yeah, paramilitary security force of DoD, Energy Department, Savannah. Yeah, see these.
Those are the people that will disappear you.
Yes. Yeah, it's not even the same type of thing. You're right, 100%. It's crazy.
Complete redaction.
Also see.
Or render, that they call that.
Yeah,
rendition.
See, that's it, man. I'm trying to find the website that I want. I'm so pissed off I didn't save it. But there was a list of private militaries that I was looking at the other day that was just insane. Mercenaries, hey, that's what I want. I doubt it, but
when I got out of the military, I thought long and hard about being a soldier of fortune, mercenary.
Well, yeah, that's like I was talking to a guy when I was on Pendleton, and he was telling me that for the group, the platoon that he was in, like half the guys were all had already been not contracted, but signed contracts that once they left the military, they would go to them. And he's saying like that's where military guys go when they didn't get enough of the killing. I was like, what the fuck? Like, wow.
I didn't get any. When I joined, I was a still photographer. Went in during peacetime. I was in during Ronnie Reagan in the 80s. And just didn't see any combat. Russian never put the balloon up. We never dropped it, and got out. And it's like that's why I went. That's why I joined. I joined to learn photography, but I joined to kill Reds. That's not you, Reds.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's crazy how it works when it comes to liability, because I remember a lot of reports came out when we first started hearing about Blackwater. They were almost granted immunity in wartime situations.
They did the stuff that we couldn't do because of our rules of engagement.
Yes. And it's, to me, it's so, that's a scary part, to tell you the truth. That's like the biggest issue we all need to be thinking about. Like, we're talking about the fucking shape of the earth. And the realization is if, like I was saying earlier, martial law happens, our military ain't gonna wrangle us up and put us in cages. Those guys
No.
are. They're the ones that are gonna do that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, they'll put the important people in cages, and they'll just control us.
yes. So
They
it
don't care
says
about us.
the
The
top.
government doesn't care about us.
No, no, no. We are all we are to them is a dollar sign, a reason for to do stuff. Yeah, that
Yeah.
if that was the case, then we would do less in other countries, more here. See, I'm trying to find. Yes, this is weird. I've never been on this website, but yeah, this is the top 30 private military or security forces. So, number 30 is Akameda, originally going under the name of Blackwater USA, American Private Military Company. See, they changed the name right here. That's the new name.
Academy.
Yeah, and then
I see. Yes.
yeah, established in
I can't
1994
I
or
can't
seven.
see too well on my phone, so.
All right, no worries. Yeah, oh shit. Let me do this because if you can't see it, I know everyone else can't see it. So I've been trying to make sure my everything's a little bit more legible for
Oh, there
everyone
we
to
go.
see.
Amazing.
It says Naval SEAL Eric Priest. Blackwater was awarded its first naval contract in 2000. That seems a little shoddy of a number. In order for the company to fulfill it, more than 100,000 sailors were trained for action. Blackwater was heavily in controversy, involved in Iraq War. In 2019, Prince stepped down as the CEO, and the firm they known as Blackwater Worldwide was rebranded as XL. Yeah, see, they've changed their names at least 4 or 5 times.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the next one is ICTS International. I haven't even heard of them. It's their former Israel Security Agency and Ally Israel Airline Security.
Yeah, Israel doesn't fuck around with their military
Oh
and
no!
paramilitary.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, their women are just as fucking crazy and ape shit about fucking war as the men are. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Princess, what's her name? Ain't no joke.
It's crazy. Number
From
28.
Star Wars.
Oh
What
yeah,
was her
yeah.
name?
Leah, Princess Leah.
No, no. The from the Anakin one.
Oh, I didn't watch those ones.
Princess or Emperor. She was the Empress.
Amidala, or some shit
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah. She had to take a break from making the movies to serve in the Israeli army.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
She came back and she was big. She was buff. She came back like well trained, and so she knows how to hold. She knows how to fucking wield a pistol.
Yeah,
For
it's crazy.
sure.
And it's impressive too. The number 28 is Northbridge Services Group. It's registered
Well, that
as
sounds like something my grandpa'd worked for.
says registered in the Dominican Republic, but with offices in Kentucky, Iran, and UK. Northbridge Service Group is a private military contractor that claims to provide highly confidential and effective security-related services designed to address the needs of governments. Yeah, see, these are the guys that go like when the military or when like the U.S. government goes, damn, we really need that dignitary dead. They send these guys in. They don't send SWAT, no, or not SWAT, damn, SEALs. They send these type of guys.
They sound like some company you'd like subcontract out to empty your waste baskets at the end of the night.
Yeah, for real.
Northwood Services Group.
This one is Triple Canopy. Canopy is a private security, risk management, and defense contracting company based in Reston, Virginia. Yep. See, like these are the guys that do it. It says Corporation Worldwide. Triple Canopy employs no less than 5,500 staff, and its clients include NGOs, telecommunication companies, oil and gas businesses, mining firms, and financial organizations from all around the world, which means billionaires, trillionaires get escorted around by these guys.
Yeah. See, these aren't the guys you have to worry about. It's when you scroll down and you just see that blank section on the page with no
Yeah.
picture, no description, and no name. Those are the guys.
Yep. Yeah. See, for instance, like seriously, for instance, this company, Procedure, or what, I don't know what the hell this is. See how they don't show anybody's face? No, there's no, they're not doing a cameo. These are the type of guys that you're talking about. Like, I doubt they're even named. I doubt 90% of these companies are even named these anymore. They change
That
the names
looks
all the
pretty
time.
high. That looks like pretty high exposure.
Well, yeah,
High profile.
yeah, they're definitely not
I don't
running
think
around
they're
in that.
hiding from anybody.
Nah. It's a multinational private security company with 150,000 staff spread over Europe, Asia, Oceania, and and Latin America. The firm was established in '76 and is headed by, or head office is located in Madrid. Yeah, see, this
That
is
looks like that bus looks like it's meant to carry like a few dignitaries at a time, and it looks armor plated,
yeah,
and that looks like a battering ram front.
yeah. It's just
So it's meant to
yeah.
get someone there when they need them there.
Yes. And you can usually tell, for the people in the chat that may not know, you can usually tell when the vehicle is armored to the tits like this, based on the fact, like, see how the edges, there's no creases anywhere. It looks like, everything's one piece almost. That's to keep it from blowing up into pieces.
Yeah. The windows are flat. They look flat. They've got that dull, just. I've ridden in a armor plated Mercedes Benz.
Damn.
It was the staff car of the post commander. It was in charge of of where I was stationed in Germany, and I did a photo shoot of him giving an award to a guy, and his driver took me home, and it was like you slam those doors, and it was like a tank hatch shutting.
Damn. Yeah, I haven't been in an armored vehicle before, but so like when the president comes to a city or something, or for instance, a president came to Camp Pendleton when I was there, and he actually came to the airfield where we were actually doing a grading project at the time, and I was talking to a couple of the pilots that were near that hangar, and we were talking as they were driving by us, and I didn't know this, but you know how the Hummers and the V bottom Arsenal trucks, they're armored. They're made for against IEDs and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one the president gets, because they do make sure that they go into military vehicles and stuff when they're on military bases and stuff. They're beyond armored up. Like from what I was reading about once I started looking into it, the president's vehicles, the real armored armored escorts, I guess you would call them, like those ones are supposed to be able to withstand what was the size? I forget the tonnage, but it'd be basically like 5 or 6 IEDs under it, blowing it up, and it'd be able to stay intact. Most of them are designed so that if they do get hit with an IED or any artillery, they're still able to drive. That's like the most important thing.
Got to get them out.
Yep. See,
the car that I was in, it was a bright red Mercedes. I don't know why you picked that, but and it had a big red button right in the center console.
That's definitely one of those you see me, now get the F out the way vehicles. Yeah, but I mean,
the guy said if he hit that button, it had a clear cover on it, but he said if he hit that button, every law enforcement vehicle within like a kilometer would be there in an instant.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's also another thing a lot of people do. There's I guess you would call it a hierarchy in police work, where it comes down to, so if they'll average get to you in 5 minutes, right? Just average, which is bullshitting right now. I'm not giving any real numbers. If a cop down goes over the radio, that response time turns into a minute and a half. And that's
Yeah.
an average, just so people get an idea of how that works.
Yeah, they give a shit about their own.
Yeah, I've actually, I've literally heard about. There was a guy. It was about 10 years ago. A guy was drunk driving. He actually hit somebody, and it wasn't. I don't think the guy died, but I know there was a lot of damage to vehicles and whatnot because the guy was so fucking drunk. But I think there was a bank robbery. Something happened where a cop got shot. They actually left that and called in someone else to come and handle it because they were that close. And I was like, wow. That's when I realized when for one,
Sorry.
you can't outrun a radio. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't outrun a force. So keep that in mind when you decide to run from cops. People, you're not outrunning them. You're having to outrun the radios.
Yeah, there's a reason why you don't see many YouTube videos of them getting away.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and so like I'm gonna go ahead and get through this so we can get off this one situation. But yeah, I mean, these are 30 publicly known, keyword publicly known, private military forces.
If you've got discipline, they'll give you a job.
They actually have ADT on here. That is insane. But see, that to me, that to me is then throwing it in there. These guys are out there. Everyone's normal. Don't look at them. What else do I want to look at? Anti-satellite? What the hell is that? Let's see. All right, I didn't even look through that one enough to go over it. We're over this. What else is next? Okay, I think we kind of went through this. We didn't. Well, a lot of us know that DARPA is. I speak only for truth. Where is it? Okay, so, I mean, if you don't know who DARPA is, climb out from under that rock.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, DARPA is basically the company that gets contracted by the government to do work that's supposed to be impossible. DARPA has a motto. It's called, "We only do projects that are DARPA hard." Yeah, you heard that correctly. DARPA hard.
Yep. Well, they're the ones that have to come up with the new stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. There was an interview a few years ago with, I guess, their CEO. I don't know who he was. But he was saying that it basically, in as few words as you can, basically was saying everything that's impossible to build and come up with, the military comes to us to build it. And when you hear that, that's when you really realize how advanced technology is. Guys, I didn't do this because I just wanted to talk about a few things that are coming up in the future. Like, if you just look into these things and just hear how they talk about the technology, they make it almost clear that what you see is what's been here, and what you don't see is what they're doing now. Is basically what DARPA will tell you. So let's see a couple of these. I haven't looked on this website, so I don't even know which we're going to come up with. It says DARPA is more focused on biofuels than any other. Yes, that's retarded. Let's see. Test range. Let's see, I'm not seeing the 14 yet. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this system is a self-sustaining stratospheric military recon blimp. Okay, so this is actually what we've been talking about when it comes to are satellites balloons? Are they satellites? Are they this and that? The company Raven Aerostar, they do contracts for DARPA. The stratospheric balloon situation, they use these things a lot. They use these things for satellites. It's called short range satellite signal. They use these balloons for, like, if you go to an event, big stadium like Super Bowl, the reason your cell phones work is most of the time you'll see a blimp hanging on a string above the parking lot. That is a cell transmitter. Well, if you need to do that over a very large area, even bigger than just a stadium, you use one of these. But you guys have heard me talking about this. Again, the duration of time they're able to, kind of squealy. The duration of time that the stratic balloons are able to stay up, as of right now, does not exceed 90 days. They are working on technology that will allow them to stay up for 120 as of right now, which means they're probably 10 months up. They can probably stay up for a year. I don't know. Okay, so 4G. See, this website isn't going to give us the good stuff. I can already tell now. This is all just basic. I know where we need to go. We'll go to DARPA's website.
Godless Engineer has Today I Learned.
Oh, really?
On his thing. Yeah, he's got this segment on his live stream where Today I Learned, and he gives like a little fact that he learned during the day or whatever.
Yeah. See, that's what I want to do. I want to get more structured in this, but like I got like thousands of things in my head going on. Like I want to talk about and want to go over. So like I don't know if I could ever go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll do this Tuesday, Wednesday, like that. I don't want to run a stream like that. I kind of like the idea that right now someone can jump on the panel and the topic could just change completely. I like that.
Yeah. So I could do, about a month ago, I could do Today I Learned that my dad's first duty station was working one of the silos for NORAD. He was one of the guys with his finger on the button.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he was a young air defense artillery officer, and that was one of his first gigs. Fucking shit job.
Shit job.
And, had a 45 on his hip, 1911, locked and loaded, and so did the other guy. And if you refused to turn your switch, turn your key,
damn, he
was authorized to shoot you.
And you want to hear what's crazy about that? I
just found out about it like last month.
What's called? Where's it? I forget where it's. I think it was in Montana. I don't remember. Hopefully a lot of everyone knows that we have nuclear missile silos everywhere in the United States, and they're manned. Just like you were talking about, Sean. There's usually 2 or 3 guys there, and their job is to either pull it, turn the keys or whatever. I forget what it was. Actually, I want to look that up. There was an officer. I don't know. I think it was a very high command. They got busted being drunk on the job.
Damn.
Let's see if I can find it.
That's scary. Yeah, I've been I've worked CQ, charge of quarters, guard, night guard or whatever, manning the phones and working the desk at night when I was in the Army. And every night we'd get a call, authentication code, whatever, and you'd go to the safe. You'd say, "Hold on," and you go to the safe, open the safe, you pull out your authentication book. You go to the page of the code that he gave you. You read back the authentication code that's listed, and he says, "Thank you very much." Hangs the phone up.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. So if we were to go to war, that conversation would continue at that point.
Damn. So actually, unfortunately, there's been actually a lot of situations when it comes to nuclear missiles and mishaps.
They dropped one on Kentucky, I think, didn't they?
I've heard about that one. Here's one report. It says dozens of Air Force officers exhausted with I got a fucking thing on my screen. Hang on. Entrusted with maintaining U.S. nuclear missiles. There's accused of cheating on or turning a blind eye by using the site. Okay, yeah, it's crazy. After drinking for hours in a bar, here it is. This is it right here. After drinking, an Air Force general who was oversaw some of the nation's nuclear weapons was dismissed for drinking anti-6 during what the hell? During an official trip to Moscow last summer, according to new investigative report, Michael J. Carey, who was removed from this year as a commander of the 20th Air Force, which maintains and operates the nation's intercontinental ballistics missiles, is accused of drinking heavily, insulting his guests, and other behavior unbecoming of an officer and gentleman during a 4-day. Okay, so it wasn't at a site.
Okay.
Okay, so that one.
When I was stationed in Bad Kreuznach, Germany, Zweibrücken, Germany, the captain who ran the community playhouse. It's like they call it Zweibrücken. It was Zweibrücken American Playhouse. It's like little theater, and soldiers and their family were the actors, and it's just a way to bring morale up and stuff. And he showed me his hand receipts for every nuclear weapon in Germany.
Wow,
that was his cover.
Holy
was
shit.
Working the little theater. No one would suspect the guy directing plays to be hand receipted, to be in control of every nuclear weapon in Germany.
God damn.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at a report now. This is from it's over 2 years ago. It says, but it says U.S. Navy sailors jailed for taking photos of classified area of nuclear submarine. You want to know how serious they are about that shit? I have numerous pictures of when I was on Camp Pendleton. I had videos of their artillery rounds going off. I mean, I was within, I'd say, 50 feet of their artillery guns, the big guns, when they were shooting them off and training. And I used to take pictures and videos. I actually got caught once doing it. They literally took my phone for an hour. They went through it and erased every single picture that could have been taken on base. And then they asked me to never do it again, and if I had, I would be jailed. So I didn't never do it again. The only pictures that I have that I was allowed to have and was allowed to take are the ones that of the site I was on. I've showed you guys. I think I have one up here. Hang on. I don't know where it's at. Yeah, actually, it's right here on this one. This page. You may not be able to see it. Hang on. This is how our pictures on Camp Pendleton had to be, basically. Either overhead or directional. They had to be pointing at the site with nothing else involved. That's why you won't see it, because there's like a military base south of here, or air base, I mean. I actually got in trouble for doing this once. I don't care if I do it now because I'm not even on base anymore. One of the things I used to be enamored by is the fact that, military guys, when they drink, they talk. They talk a lot. I found out through that on Camp Pendleton, there is a military base. Where is it? I'll just share it here so I can show you guys kind of what I'm talking about.
That's why we have our own bars.
Yeah. Yep.
You don't have to go out on the economy and spew shit.
And for the most part, there's always an officer there. That's what I was told as well. The guys don't get in too many fights at the bars anymore because there's always an officer ready to grill them for it.
Well, it's usually an NCO or a officer bartending or managing the place.
Yes. So
there's always a ranking officer.
Yep. Okay, so what we're looking at now is Camp Pendleton. It's already here. It'll say it here. I got to get closer though. Okay, so where is it?
I roadied for air supply at the NCO club in Denver, Colorado.
Oh damn! Yeah,
they played at our club, and I got a steak dinner for helping them load up.
Nice. So from this road right here, this road right here, from here down to where all these little buildings are, because that's a little pavilion that they have right there. All this is military base. This whole thing. Maybe a little too far. Let me see. Make sure real quick. Yep, no, I was right. So that, yeah, you can see right there. This line, this
Yeah,
big,
a lot of land.
that's an airfield. That's the runway.
Yep.
So that's marked, but it's not really, really marked except for maybe air terminal right here. Well, that's a huge ass airfield for being on a military base. Well, somewhere right about. Okay, the airfield is there. You can obviously see it now. You can see how large it is. So that's the airfield. This spot right here, right where my cursor is, that's 3 Mile Pit. That's where the overhead picture. This, so the dirt area, the area I'm above right now, that's the area that me and my father we were contracted to do the work at. The little town to the left of that is a mock Iraqi town that we did the grading for and design on. Like we designed the pads and everything for this place.
That's their mount course.
Yep. Right down in here where my cursor is. Okay. Right where my cursor is now, that's a mock bridge that they were going to build moats under to try to get trucks to fall into. Like that's as wide, maybe an inch wider than the 6-packs that they have for that purpose, so that they have to learn that if they get in a bad spot, they'll be okay. Yeah,
Cool.
but yeah, we did that. That took us about 8 months of bringing dirt in and grading and all that stuff. You can't tell, but the topography of it's way different. Everything to the left is low elevation. Everything else is actually up on a hill about 100 feet tall, about 100 foot in elevation. But
Training is paramount.
yes. The bad part about this is because we did the mock town 2 years into our contract of a 14-year contract. So we were across the canyon. This is maybe not even a quarter mile away from each other. They played Iraqi, like the music. They blasted that shit every day, all day long, because they're trying to get the troops ready for it, prepared for what will happen when they go to Iraq. So
Yeah.
they blasted that stuff every day, all day. So I got to hear a lot of that every day, all day. It was fun. But I digress from what I was talking about. So that blob right there is where we were. Now, if you look, I gotta get out of here so I can see it. So there. So right about here. Okay, I see it. Right about here, in the center of the page, because there's nothing to really landmark. That's not that. That looks nothing like what is there. What's out there is cement and roads and another airfield. This other airfield, though, is different from the other one, as in it's wider, it's longer, and there's 2 towers there for this reason. I was told that this is where the jets land. This is where the stealth fighter, stealth bomber, any the president, when they land up here. So that way no one knows where they're at. And obviously you don't see any remnants of an airfield there, but it's there. I promise you. It is there. It's fucking huge. It's probably 3 times the size of this one. Easily 3 times the size. When I found out about that, then looked for it, and then talking through other things, that's when I started realizing how much the military isn't telling us, we're not privy to. And again, I understand it, but at the same time, damn.
Now there's an interesting movie which chronicled the lives of and the job that these people had to do. They were the artists of World War II, and they had to they were the guys that made the inflatable tanks and shit. And
oh my god, yeah.
Basically, their whole job was subterfuge. They created sound effects tapes. They would blast if they wanted to make the Germans think there was a company of tanks rolling through, they would just blast tank sounds and you'd think that there's tanks coming through. It's really a cool, just everything that happened back then, how they just for the better word, subterfuge, just misdirecting the enemy to not know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like they would take, in one instance, they wanted the enemy to think that we were laying down a pipeline. So what they did was, hold on.
Yeah, worse.
So what they did was they took like 8 or 9 sections of pipe and they dug a trench. And then the enemy they did this during the daytime. And then at night, they pile the dirt back in the trench, move the pipe down, and then dig another part of the trench.
Yeah.
So they weren't laying anything. They were just making them think they were doing it so that their focus was on that.
Yeah.
So that they wouldn't worry about something else.
Yeah, it's insane how it is, but at the same time, I mean, we kind of all have to understand it at the same time. You know, they do need
Yeah.
secrecy. But I think the main thing of it is it's just how scary it is that the power, the technology that the military possesses on their, just for themselves is insane that people don't believe it. That's the biggest issue to me. It's more of an issue to me that people don't believe it than that the government or the militaries are doing it. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'll be right back. I gotta take care of something.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so I was talking to you guys in the chat. Let me get back up there because I saw what you were saying, Fletcher, about. Let's see. Let me get this because I wanted to kind of go through this as well. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to. Why did I do that? I wanted to talk about earlier was I saw you had mentioned in there, Fletcher. It was about south of that being the SEAL teams doing demo training. Yes, 100%. What I was saying in the chat when I told you about the 2,000 tons of TNT they used, where that mock town was, previous to that, for 20 years, the military would do demo or would be pouring, they pour concrete, blah, blah, blah. Well, that site where the mock town is, that used to be a demo site for all of Camp Pendleton's concrete, asphalt, and dirt. They used to take it all to this shell pit, basically. So let me go ahead and show that page real quick so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Because they did some blowing some shit up. So what we're looking now. If you guys can see my cursor, at the top of the screen, not the single building, where that single building to the top right is, that was the top of the hill. Well, from that building to, if you go straight left, if you go left from there, that road that goes through the mock town, from there to that single building, that used to be 150 feet tall of what's called concrete lava washout. When a concrete truck washes out or has extra concrete left, and they're cleaning everything out, they basically back up over to the slope and they just dump it. So what ends up happening, it becomes these sheets and thick layers of it. Well, we used breakers. We had about 3 excavators with breakers on them that basically break it all up. It took us about 6 months to break up what ended up being maybe 1/20th of the amount there, and we obviously needed a better, faster way of doing it. So what was the idea came about through a couple of the Marines that were out there training, that were part of a demolition crew, that the crews that go out and blow shit up and all that kind of stuff. And they actually offered to come out and use the lava, the washout. We call it a washout, the lava washout. They wanted to use it as a training, be able to use different amounts of TNT to train different the troops and everything that were still learning and all. So what they did is they came out, and over a 3-day period, they used 2,000 tons of TNT to get you to understand how big this explosion was. When they do this stuff, it's called you need a safe zone. Anyone who's been around ballistics knows about this. It's the area of safety. You stay out of range of whatever's happening. Well, when you're blowing shit up, it's not just being in front of. I mean, there's a blast radius. Well, the blast radius for this particular situation was 3.5 miles.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's how much they were using. So let me show you
Hey,
guys.
I gotta bounce.
Okay, yeah, no worries, no worries. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks a lot. It was great.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Talk to you later.
Yep. Okay, so on Camp Pelton, where is it? There it is. So remember that site where I was at, which is right about there. It is. Okay, so that's the site right there. Let me go ahead and do this. I'm gonna make my page this full screen because you guys can see it better. And this will be the last thing I really get into, and then I'll make sure I get back to the chat because I know I haven't been watching it at all, and I do apologize for that. Okay, so where we're looking is not what I want you guys to be looking at, so let me do this, and then I'll share what I want you to see. There it is. Okay, so like I was saying, where this is, all right, you know what? This is a perfect time for that. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so basically what was happening is when they were blowing that stuff up, there needed to be a 3-mile perimeter, basically, obviously, where everyone's safe, no one has to worry. For a blast radius that they were using, I'm gonna go ahead and draw a little diagram real quick so you guys can see exactly the radius in which we had to stay out of. I'm trying to get the little pin up, and I don't know where it's at. Oh, it's right in front of my face. Okay, so this dot is where they were blasting. The blast radius was this. So every time they hit a bell or hit the buzzer, and it was a very loud one, there were Marines at the road, blocked that off. There were Marines down this road, blocked that off. And then myself, I was actually about here. And then every single dirt road you see on this page had a Marine standing on it. So every dot is where a Marine was to make sure nobody came into this blast radius. But yeah, that's the blast radius in which you have to have for 2,000 tons of TNT on site. Yep. Okay, so let me get that out of here. Thank you guys for staying with me on that one. But let me get into the chat because I know you guys are there, and I've seen my name tagged a few times, and I do apologize on that. Again, I am still getting used to this channel and not having everything that I usually do ready to go because I had to use a new OBS system. But yeah. So anybody got any questions, comments, anything? Like I said, I'm kind of in the tail end of this, and just kind of just BSing at the moment. I'll go ahead and run up the chat because I know I've saw a couple tags. Yeah, no, Fletcher, you're talking about the war crimes thing. I don't know why that slipped my mind. I'm like, what? The crimes that happened during war? Wonder what they're called. They will cancel your birth. Yep. Was recruited. Yeah, I typed like good shit. You didn't join them. There was no us. There's no them. Somebody had to watch the back door. Blah blah blah. Let's see. All right. So that's all the name. That's crazy. Self seals. Nope, that's it. Okay. So like I said, it's insane to me that anybody would assume that technology isn't that advanced to what we know. It is, period. I know I can't give you the undeniable proof that everyone would love, that especially that we all ask for in this community. But the realization is that, damn, guys, the military, far ahead of us. How many years? No clue. I say 15 to 20. I know my numbers may not be right. I know that. But the realization is if it's 5 years, it's still something. If it's 10 years, it's something, right? But yeah, give you guys one last opportunity to get in this hangout before I just get bored and want to take off. If you guys want to start a topic or a conversation, we can. There's no, I won't go anywhere. I won't shut down right now, unless I'm here by myself, because there's only so much I can talk about. Okay, so yeah, but like I was saying, just this idea that, and especially people that are in those professions, to believe that we're not, it's really weird to me. Multi-tom, you say 30 years. I say 30 years is a little much, but possible. It's not far-fetched at all. My God says the military tech is evidence of a skeptical advancement. Ballers ignore to factor the sticks in the 93 million mic precision sun, or million miles. See, my God, what you just said doesn't even make sense. So the military tech is evidence. Like, what is that evidence for? Yeah, it's crazy to see all the different ideas of it. FLL, we break out the low tech to. That's funny. Yeah, like I said, guys, I didn't plan on being on long, and I know this is a off topic from what a lot of people want to talk about, but these are, I want to. What I'm going to start doing is broadening the scope of what we talk about here. It's literally like, I get the conversation of flat Earth is important to a lot. I get that for the most part we spend all day talking about it. So, you get here and then it's something that continues the conversation of. But again, there's so many things going on, a lot of people don't know about, that it's almost a detriment to us if we don't talk about this stuff. Right? The main thing I wanted to come across right this second when I'm talking about this is the fact that, close that. The fact that if we're going to have these conversations about logic, knowledge, conspiracies, we obviously have to talk about the things that we know about. We have to talk about the things that are rumored, and we have to talk about the things that could have been because of documents. I get there's a lot of people that outright don't believe a lot of conspiracies are going on, but this is clear signs that there are conspiracies, in the sense of they're happening to the scale no one really knows. But it's important that we talk about these things, because if you didn't know about there being that many private militaries, then you couldn't have the conceptual idea that there are hundreds of those companies instead of just the 30 they showed us. It's a big deal to me, because those private militaries are the ones you got to worry about. Not the regular military, not our government, because understand something. If the government will hire them to do what our military can't, you have to understand that the government probably knows that the private military would be their biggest enemy if it happened. Basically, put it this way, we call Al Qaeda. They were a private military for us over there for many, many years. That's why all this Bush gave them this, because they were actually doing jobs for us. All right, so Rob says, anyone find any evidence that supports flat Earth yet? Nope, there's no evidence that supports flat Earth. If you guys want to come talk flat Earth, let's do that as well. Become a little bit scarce lately. I get it. Again, but at the same time, just know, it's going to be a place that you guys flat Earth can come and chill out and relax and not worry about being attacked. But at the same time, if I realize that you're adamantly BSing, or you're purposely leaving stuff out to better your explanation for something, I'm going to say something. if you're going to be just disingenuous about it, it's going to turn into a situation like me and Chris Berry. Again, that's bigger than the conversation we were having. Once Sean G comes back, that channel, you'll know exactly what's going on. But yeah, it's crazy. So this was going to happen. I'm not going to actually shut down right now. I'm going to play some music. Yep, that's right. I do have a good selection of music that I can play without worry. And the reason for that is what I'm going to do is I actually just got a message from a buddy of mine that's in the Discord servers. He actually used to be, he used to work Secret Service. I think he said about, I think it was 20 years ago. But he said that, he can talk about a lot of the stuff that's going on. It's not like that. But he wanted to come on and talk about cause the advance in technology, because he was saying earlier in the day when I was talking to him that, the Secret Service is actually a quote unquote test body. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of, technology and, secure, safety, securing people, and he wanted to talk about that. I think he wanted to talk about actually the vehicles too, kind of like what Sean was talking about earlier. So guys, give me about 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops, to get that going again, to see if he wants to come on real quick. If not, I'll come back on, say my finals or whatnot, and we'll go from there. So check this out. I'm gonna put the link for the Hangout into the description right now. No one's gonna be able to hear you, and no one's gonna be able to see you, but I will, because I'll have my phone on me and I'll be able to. I have the Hangout on screen. But one of the things I wanted to preface is if you're gonna be. So actually, this is what I'll do. This is what I'm gonna do. I'll open the Hangout. Because I'll be able to see everything. I have my phone on me, but I won't be able to actually control everything right off the bat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, why does that Hangout keep doing that? What I'm going to do is I'll make it so that people can hear you if you come on the Hangout. So if you guys want to BS and enough of you come on, then people have something to hear. The music you'll be able to actually hear yourselves over the music because it's going to be low, but I just wanted to keep it out there that the Hangout's open. I'll be right back to be in it. I'm going to try to get that guy over here, and we'll go from there. So at least in 5 minutes, you guys are going to hear back from me. All right, I am back. My bad, guys. Okay, so he is not available. He's gonna come on some other time. We're gonna schedule it, so it is definitely gonna happen. I'm gonna go ahead and take off because obviously no one wants to jump on the panel with me. It hurts. But yeah, hey, I've already been on for a minute anyway. Guys, again, still working on getting my the Sean G channel back up and running to have that going again. I can't wait for that. And then I just wanted to talk about the military technology and the stuff that we're not privy to, because it has everything to do with conspiracies. It has everything to do with the topic at hand. It's far-fetched to me to believe that so many people are part of this community and don't care. It worries me, to tell you the truth. It's a big deal, and I really hope you guys kind of understand that, and that and know that I'm going to start talking about this stuff a lot more than flat Earth. As far as I'm concerned, again, I'll say it, and I don't mind saying it at all. Flat Earth globe is BS compared to what we need to be talking about. Now, I'll entertain it. I don't mind at all. I like talking about it. But at the same time, I'm going to start getting the shit out that I need to. That I do, put on the back seat to flat Earth and globe discussion. But if you're a flat earther and you believe in all these conspiracies, you believe in all this other stuff, I would expect a lot of more flat earthers to be here to hear what's going on that I'm talking about, because it's everything you guys are talking about, but with all the actual documents and facts that you would want to be presenting. Even more importantly than that, if you know people that don't believe this kind of stuff, then coming here is going to be a good opportunity for the people that don't believe you to come here and hear the facts behind those things. When it comes to military, we know they're advanced. When it comes to the private sector, we know that they're secretive. And there's money. Money makes the world go round. Remember that saying? It's true when it comes to that. So like I said, I'm going to end this one. Hopefully I'll be on tomorrow for sure. Hopefully we'll get some more people on the panel. And that will be exactly what we do. What's up? Peace be with you. Why are these streams always? Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm changing up. I want to change it up to the point where it's not. This is not. That's the one thing. I'm not a flat Earth globe channel. I'm a conspiracy theorist, and that happened to have been what I was into then. I still love having that conversation because I get to learn more and help people that maybe don't understand. But at the same time, my main thing I do and enjoy doing is the research on these things. So I'm going to start flipping it around. I'm going to start doing more and less of the flat Earth thing. Again, if I have an open panel, the topic can always change. I don't mind that at all. But I'm going to start. My first 15 is always going to be probably going to be more about something besides flat Earth. Because let's keep it real. More important shit. And if you disagree with me, you're more than welcome to come on and explain to me why it is more important than the stuff that we all are affected by, that we all can see is there evidence-wise, and that affect us. When I'm talking about geoengineering, that's going to affect all of you. All of you. And I know most of you think I'm full of shit. Most of you guys think it's another conspiracy guy talking all this shit, and the reality of it is it's just because you refuse to do the research. So that's why I'm doing it, because I love doing the research and I want to get it out there, and you guys get to find out what's going on, and it not be from a that what I call the nutter stance, that crazy off the wall explanation for something that doesn't make any sense. I don't like doing that. I don't look for that in my research. I look for the tangible things, the things that I can show you guys, things I can look into and try to explain. So with that, guys, that's just what's coming up. Like I've been saying, man, I'm trying to get a better schedule, better game plan the whole nine, just so that it's you guys know what to expect with each stream. But yeah, with the geoengineering experiments and tests that are going to be starting very soon, I'm going to be doing a lot more streams on that, because it's right around the corner, guys. If it wasn't for Arizona, their regulations, they would have already started geoengineering. Okay, understand the problem is they're going to be doing these tests. It's not even a legitimate foresight for the bigger application of geoengineering, which is scary to me. It's publicized, but it's not accurately publicized. It's in the public's eyes because now it's time for them to stop secretizing it or keeping it classified. I have information that shows that. I have documents that show they've been doing it. I have documents that show Russia has done many geoengineering tests, and it's not just hearsay, it's not conspiracy, it's just about whether or not you're willing to take the time to find it. And I did. And I'll show you guys probably tomorrow. Russia's geoengineering projects. The UK did one. Matter of fact, UK did one and got busted for doing it and shut down before they were able to. But yeah, that's where we're going to be going. Let me get in this chat real quick. Charlie says, one of the problems with the long duration balloons is the helium. Helium is very good at leaking out of these things. Hydrogen would stay in much longer, but people are afraid. Yeah, that's speaking of in the technology of the balloons themselves, and they've done it. What was it? 10 years ago, no one in their minds would have believed these balloons were able to stay up for 90 days. And as of right now, they're publicly able to stay up for 90 days. If you call the FAA or you find their the database they have, they'll let you know that the government, NASA, other agencies of that fly 2,500 drone missions daily, every day. And we're not talking the baby drones. We're talking the big drones. This one's NASA's. This is NASA's drone right here. They use this to fly into hurricanes, the eye of the hurricane. And I wanted to show you, I'm going to do this tomorrow again. First 15, I'm just going to smash through a bunch of information on this and where they're at in the process of starting the test phase of geoengineering. And more importantly, something to do with these drones and seeding, because one of the things that I have always talked about and I've gotten nothing but negative feedback on is controlling hurricanes. Matter of fact, tomorrow I am talking controlling hurricanes, and if you don't believe it's happening, you should be here, because guess what? It is. They're doing it in relation to where it's going to go, its intensity. There are official government documents discussing an experiment of seeding hurricanes and its outcomes. It's there. I'm going to show you guys tomorrow. So with that said, guys, Metal, thank you for being here, my friend. What's up, VC? Charlie, True Blue. Peace be with you. The name looks familiar. I don't know from where though. Fletcher, thank you, man. Always appreciate you here. No worries on not being on the panel. I get it. Family first. Who else is in here? Grizz. Hey, there's Sean G. The Mind of God. Oh, it was good to see you here, man. I know you had some fun in the chat. Again, Mind of God, thank you for the conversation we had last night, man. For most of you guys that don't know, me, Mind of God, and Sigvind, and Barney, I mean, I think we had probably about a good 2.5, 3 hour conversation after the stream ended. So it was a good conversation. I think me and Mind of God definitely are cool now. I got my piece out with all that. I still got issues with Chris, guys. That's not going away. You guys are going to hear about it once I get my channel back, or the live streaming aspect of it back. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. I know it's for me, it seems kind of a little different because not as many people are here to hear this information, obviously because of the channel change. I'd like to ask you guys to please share and let people know that I'm here on this channel when for the time being. I'm pretty sure most of you guys got the notification from the Sean G account saying that I'm going live. That's going to be regular as long as I'm here. I'm going to try to get those out a little bit earlier than I did today. But yeah, just look for that. If you see one of those from the Sean G account, I'll be live here. These live streams will be, I'll put them on Sean G channel. I haven't decided when. I don't want to have this live stream and then right after this upload yesterday's or today's, because you guys are obviously would have heard it by now and it won't be pointless. So I'm probably going to do like a 2-3 day stretch. So anybody who missed live streams will be able to catch up like that. But yeah, again, tomorrow we'll get into this, the geoengineering, the aspects of the governments that have done geoengineering, the documents that show they have. I'll talk about what I was just talking about and just fucking left my brain. Let me think. Oh, okay. So yeah. So tomorrow we'll do that, and then we'll also talk about Damn, that's a hell of a brain fart I just had. Okay, yeah, I forget. But again, there's a lot of important shit, and I'm going to talk about tomorrow. So thank you guys again. You have no idea how much I appreciate you guys being here, especially the flat earthers that stuck by me when I did decide or did come out saying that I am under the understanding of it's a globe. You guys, you have no idea how much that means. The flat earthers, obviously the globers that are here, you guys are cool and we have good conversation, and a lot of you guys helped me when I was still flat earth, but I definitely do have a definite special place in my heart for the flat earthers that are still cool with me, that stuck by me, because I'm seeing a lot of BS when it comes to that, and just know that the ones that stand by me, I see it and I appreciate it. The ones that are turning on me, make sure you're coming with good shit, because if you're not, I'm coming at you. You guys are the problem. Not flat earth. Those flat earthers. So, guys, come at it with more respect until they disrespect. Vice versa for both either side. And then I'm gonna talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll probably see a bunch of you guys tonight. I'll be over at the server, debate flat earth and more. Links in the description down below. Also, my servers down there as well. The Truth Frontline. It's not a very active place, but it's a place where you can come chill and maybe have a good conversation with somebody. And it's not all hectic. You're not going to get cut off. You're not going to have to deal with 10 different conversations at once. So it's a very chill place. That's why I keep it, and I like going in there and just sharing links and chatting it up. Most of everything that I share here goes into the links, go there 100%. And then I'm kind of looking at my description to remind me what I wanted to say. Make sure you guys are, if you just found me, make sure you guys subscribe to the Sean G channel. That's in the description. Also, because of the fact that I'm hoping I won't be on this one too much longer. The hashtag we can do this thing still going. If you guys have it, every time you guys do that in the chat, I copy paste it and save it, and then it goes right into the file that shows it. I think matter of fact, it's about that time. So let's go ahead and share that now. Let's see, where are ya? Damn, I forgot which one it was in. There we go. Nope. It's one of these. There it is. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and end it with, and we'll end out on that. Matter of fact, we're going to end out on that, and we're going no intro. We're just going to go, we're going to outro with the We Can Do This. Thanks again, guys. Again, appreciate the fucking hell out of you guys. I wouldn't be here unless you guys, gave me the conversation and the time and the opposition of it, because if everyone agreed, we probably wouldn't be here right now. So again, hashtag We Can Do This. Still going. Send me emails. Send it in a chat you see me in. I do get it. It's there. Trust me, you'll eventually see it in here. I'm not stopping this. I like this. We can do this. I like it a lot. It's a movement. Let's go.
Yeah, it's magic, dude. Shout out Bass. Rapping's just another grind. Money up like it can't sleep. All nighters, bras doing more blowing than band week. Break a pound down on my lap until my pants reek. With bath salts cut into the coat so the grams kick. Numb your gums so you can't speak. Quiet, money talks, you wanna die. I ain't never see your man ski. Never. I flood strips, you a damn leak. Posted on the wall like a comment, but this my space. Hands free, just arms in reach. Words stretched like aerobics. It's MOB, my rhymes is the only thing heroic. So nah, I don't save hoes, I just save cash. For that money like my bitches, cause they both came fast. Call me coke gang swag, flow hard like a brick of crack. Lines fine like it's off, but raw like my shit from scratch. I'm on my job, same run, just a different track. On and off mics, here's nod from the sniffing rat. Ollies with the weight, niggas fast, how they flip a pack. Mash to get rid of that, they crashing where them bitches at. Now like roller switch and polish me, baby spitting wax. In my space jams, black and white light, sister act.
I came up from nothing, I'ma turn it into something. You can't live off your assumption, that lifestyle got repercussions. Check it, peep the way I function. I'ma give you all the facts. What happened when that dollar crashed? All that cash can't feed your ass. All that math we learn in class can't teach that ass how to survive. Gotta go and free your mind, but you so used to being blind. Gotta read between the lines, and then you start to see them lies. I'm surprised, I be talking like they didn't get to me, but I ain't always think differently. Up until this point, I only had what they have given me. The winners write the history. It started making sense to me, but everything ain't meant to be. Some people mentally still stuck in elementary. They don't have no sympathy for fools that assimilate the rules and ignore all of the tools that God left for you to use. Don't be confused and follow men to hell that put you in your grave. They try to turn us into slaves since the first grade. Don't be afraid to be a soldier and stand for something now, cause you're gonna have to answer when it's over. When it's over.
Alrighty.
Now y'all better wake up.
Real shit.
There's consequences for your actions.
Part of my raw sense of me, but I heard this and my heart lit up like a kid again. Thoughts are given in the song hall like Pebble, so I'ma break it down. Chop, chop, 11 steps, one missing. I'm still addicted to treble clefs and rhythms. Can't kick it unless it's with a dick the mellow. Yes, got me rocking like metal. The last rebel left, last on me like fuck it, hotter than the devil's breath. The nightlife couldn't part from it with several deaths. Catch me lounging hella high like you ain't on my level yet. I'm on some new shit, rocking 2 wristwatches with a bad bitch ass thick like 2 tube socks. It's hardcore cash after I make these quotes. I'm cool, kept my fans on summer like my AC broke. Yeah, that's worldwide love, baby. Let them clowns have the burdens. I see they ass making faces like a plastic sauce. But what up to my real niggas and hella women? Commercial, no, it's enough of that on television. Shit. My flow solid like a hard top, nigga, and I'm sick. Chloroceptic color whip, that's a cough drop.
Bloodbath Entertainment.